played in previous Launchpad qualifiers before last season and were like deciding games against each other. There's a lot here. And I'm really excited to see how these teams do. Scandal's new midfielder coming from Knowledge Gap and OSAS has been performing well today, showing a lot of picks. And same with Spooked Alter has kind of grown over time and come into his own as a brawler, picking a lot of different things. The Asher here, which is not really one of his most common picks. And then on the other side, Rose Petals, Doxy, Twisty, Luke. Luke, one of my favorite goalies in this entire tournament. And he's been spamming Rune all day, which is really cool to watch. And I'm assuming this is on Taiko Temple, because I've seen this literally every single game I've watched from them today. Yeah.
Oh my god, this is actually kind of a crazy start here, as we have Chrono Boost and Adrenaline Rush, and Octavia does seem to be showing up here, which is such a crazy pick, right? Like, Octavia gets super powerful, starting with Chrono Boost, but then the opponents are going to have Zentaro, Vice, and Rune to just, like, deal damage, get a bunch of kills, and Adrenaline Rush is going to even make that more enticing for them, too. So I think it's really going to be all on Scandals here to try to avoid a little bit of damage, get a lot of great evades in there, and Striker Kai to get those Celestial Interventions to keep them up.
Yeah, and like Luke went Strike Shot Chrono Boost. You can see exactly what he wants to do this game. If Scandals presses the evade button, it's going to be pretty hard for Luke to do what he wants to do. And fails the first check, but we'll see how it develops.
Yeah, Twisty getting really on in there. Both barriers going down right now. They have a little bit of momentum here, though, as we're going to have one little anomaly come up for Luke. It's going to leave, but Doxy has the ball now. Spooked Alter right in front, grabs the barrier with the barrier beam. Striker Kai does have flip to get it on a header if they want to. Scandals doesn't keep control of the ball here. The Supernova almost gets a goal, but now in the hands of Luke, going to try to get it out with another unstable anomaly. A help. Scandals looking a little bit low, and if they can get that, they might be able to secure the goal.
Yeah, and I mean, this is like Twisty's on her signature Zentaro. Has a lot of clippable moments on this pick, and I'm really excited to see what she can do, especially starting with a Dash Awakening. Lets her just create so many more big plays from midfield. Scandals has speed though, bringing the Corrupt Alter almost as flip.
Yeah, keeping a lot of pressure on here. The flip, it does seem to be showing up. Actually, it looked like Twisty might have saved the ball and then gets it either way. Striker Kai a little bit mixed there. Didn't really have an evade, I'm pretty sure. Kind of got the energy from getting hit there, but it's going to be first point going on here to Rose. Nicely on in there. I mean, really interesting with this rune pick, as you mentioned a minute ago. Strike Shot and Chrono Boost. I mean, kind of crazy to try to go for so much, a little bit of extra mobility, a little bit of extra banish duration, and Strike Shot for Taiko Temple. Kind of volatile, in my opinion. I feel like it does a lot and a little at the same time.
Yeah, I think like the biggest reasoning for me here is just like he really wants to banish Octavia when she has her speed up. And I think like this is a pretty effective thing to do against this level of player. Who, I mean, we haven't seen Scandals evade a rune banish yet, as far as I know. We'll see if he picks that up, because it really is just like the defining way to decide how this matchup is going to go. Twisty, huge position here, gets the barrier, and there's an open net.
That was really close there. Luke actually missed a strike shot, but no problem. Actually, much problem, as the ball lands right into Spooked Alter's hand and does get a bottom shot there onto the goal. It's going to be 1-1 right now. It's going to be a pretty close match here, though. A couple of adrenaline rushes here. 2 adrenaline rushes on the side of Nasbureau. So a little bit extra cooldown there, but I think as the game kind of goes on, the kill awakenings are going to show up, and Octavia is going to be in a whole lot of trouble, as we can see right now. Scandal's just at nothing, which actually gets them basically out of the game for a while, even trying to get a little kill there with the base drop. It doesn't seem to work out. The healing from Atlas also helping a lot. So this is going to be a lot of coordination here coming from Nasbureau if they want to make sure they keep themselves alive and keep these barriers up.
Yeah, and something I wanted to highlight is like Striker Kai is a midfield main, just kind of filling in goalie last minute for this team. He's played goalie in WESTIE Draft League before, but it's pretty, like, this is a pretty big step up in a game where they're basically 2 series away from qualifying for the chance to qualify at landing, or at NASL. Seeing his performance here, he's been picking melee goalies all day, pretty much. Really safe, stable, defensive goalies, and I think looks like he came in with a firm idea on what his team needs, and he's executing on it.
Yeah, for sure. Nice little trick shot there from Doxy, but doesn't seem to work out there. Spooked Alter does have control and grabs the barrier through Luke. It's going to be a tough one here to hold this. The Scandal's approaching with the flip, but the Here comes the path splitter. The path splitter is the thing that's going to make Luke's life hell. Gonna sink the ball, deal a bunch of damage, and that move is really hard to deal with sometimes. Really, sometimes only flip is the thing that's gonna stop it.
Yeah, you kind of like Luke had to just evade there, but it's hard because like Rune has cast animations. He's kind of a character where you need to think a lot. It can be hard to get those quick little button presses off, but Scandal keeps taking so much damage from Twisty, and they're not able to find the kill, but even just like wasting this time is pretty important. Although Scandals plays it really well and ends up like staying alive, getting speed, and getting a barrier, kind of greeds too much and dies for fun, but it was good until then.
Yeah, surviving perhaps just long enough, though, as we do see that their team does have 2 points right now in this first set. Striker Kai holding it down quite nicely, and Spooked Altars making those barriers fall, actually, right when they get the control here. But Twisty does get a slice and dice to steal that barrier from Striker Kai. This Thunderstruck is actually going to stun Striker Kai, but they're going to survive until the lightning from the power cord is the thing that's going to sink that goal. Really great call on Doxy to have that cooldown up there, and it's going to be 2-2 for this set. Big deal for the kill comp to try to get their first awakening.
Yeah, and right now both Rune and Spooked Altar, or Luke and Spooked Altar, are about to have flip, and how they end up using this ability is going to be pretty huge. Luke can basically nullify Spooked Altar's flip, or like Asher can have an Asher moment and just get both barriers. However, Twisty and Doxy, really good offense, great passing plays, and Doxy just keeping the core up really well, kind of dismantling now's burrow of strikers.
Yeah, definitely something that we can see Vice be doing, especially with some really great plays. Supernovas can kind of destroy the whole team and a couple of barriers all in one go. As we do see Luke. Okay, it's going to be... That was like a dash kill there. Kind of maybe lost all their health right at the end, but it's going to be a power play here for Rose. It's going to be a big moment here for Doxy. Actually, they lose control of the ball, and it's going to be enough time to stall for Asher to come back. Now they show up here. Doxy does still have flip. Maybe uses it to get a kill onto Scandals here. Actually going to take control of the ball into the hands of Striker Kai with the secondary. He's going to hold that one down. Luke going to get on in there, but doesn't seem to work out. Still has both barriers. Waits, banishes. Supernova comes out. Still holding onto these barriers, though. Rose doing a great job.
Yeah, and Spooked Altar, though, passing the evade check on the Rune Banish, kind of huge, almost gets stuff out of it. But Twisty has flip up now, and this is a really scary spot to be if you're Atlas. Open barriers and enemy brawler has flip.
Ooh, yeah, really tough spot there. Luke kind of gets pseudo double barriered there. Gonna try to hold this one down, get the ball to Twisty as fast as they possibly can. Twisty knows he can't use the flip until he's close enough, but just not enough time. And it does seem that Narrow's Bureau is going to actually take the first set, which is a little bit of surprise when you look at these comps, but some good gameplay is going to be just good enough. And Octavia, probably the best one on their team to get that first pick.
Yeah, getting Castellast here, there's Catalyst Ego up. Like, I think, I'm not 100% sure I'm not like the most well-played Octavia player, or most played Octavia player, but there's an argument here. You go something else, enemy team gets both Energy Awakenings, which is kind of scary. It's definitely a really good draft for blue side. I mean, Atlas even gets a Rapid Fire, but Red has stuff to work with at the very least, and we'll see how Rose Petals can kind of come back together this round. That last round was really only won because Spooked Altar and Scandals kept the core up for so long, and Rose Petals just weren't able to get it out, which is something that like this comp can struggle with. Vice, not the biggest core control character. Rune, once his abilities are out, he kind of doesn't have anything else, and he has no CDR yet.
Yeah, true. No passive really for Rune to make use of when their abilities are down, and they have a solid cooldown. They're like interesting moves because they don't have like super big like impact on defense really, but they kind of have great impact on offense, so it's kind of tough to use them. But like you were saying before, I have people seen people take Catalyst in that spot over Castellast, and it could be definitely warranted here, but we're gonna see if this Castellast can work out, because this flow state has been up for quite some time now, and it's making some pretty good uses. They already have double barriers onto the opponent. Actually gonna get a expanse kill on the Zentaro dash there. Striker Kai really making that one happen, though. Doxy does have Adrenaline Rush, gets it through, but they do lose their flip in the process. Luke putting up a wall right now. Actually does end up holding, though. Striker Kai getting a flip, though. Luke has his as well. Seeing if they can land it. Twisty getting on in there. See if they can make it happen. Uses the Oni Blade, but loses control here. Banishes the core. Kind of scary. Scandals can't seem to make it happen here with that base drop, and kind of just a slow round on to trying to get this goal. Luke gonna spend that flip there. Not gonna get too much off of that one. Scandals trying to save it with that flow state. Still has it up. Double flip here onto blue team though. Okay, one flip from Twisty. That was really close actually. Striker Kai saves that one. Okay, Scandal's gonna try to give it to Spooked Alter. Luke does another great job of knocking that one away. Okay, the Expanse is going to hold the line here. The Oni Blade's gonna make things a little awkward. Slice and Dice doesn't get the ball, but does get the Atlas, and it's gonna be a goal here. The combination of Twisty and Doxy. Really great work on that goal there. The Slice and Dice taking the kill onto Striker Kai was huge.
Yeah, definitely. And my mic was muted earlier, but it feels like Rose Petals is having a lot of issues just like kind of keeping the core up and getting it in a good spot for Zentaro to kind of match abilities and score past Striker Kai. It's really hard because Luke is kind of being forced to use a lot of abilities on defense, and he's not able to like kind of place his pillars down and get a good setup for Zentaro to just wear down the enemy team. And we see that like Spooked Alter, if you're Asher and you just get the core, you're gonna get barriers against Rune.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they were all three on defense when both barriers went down there, and Luke had to use both of their moves, didn't get it out, couldn't get it out. Now they're 2v3 and they get scored on there. If they could just get a little bit more offense, like you're saying, Luke would really be able to help out here, especially with the 1-2 punch. If they knock the ball against the pillar, it's coming back kind of hard, so they're gonna have to really try their best to work out an offense here though. But it's gonna be against this Chrono Boost cast last Octavia, which is making things really awkward, even though she didn't get any more stagger. But I'm not sure if they can grab some kills, but it's going to be a really great double. The Oni Blade almost sinks it there into the hands of Spooked Alter finally for that. The Path Split is going to come in here and definitely get a barrier for sure. A flip coming out from Doxy, saved from Scandals there, up to Luke. Really great work. Not going to lose to his own pillar. That's great, though. Twisty just kind of puts it in. Really right past Striker Kai, and spamming the Bro League emote.
Yeah, and some friendly banter between them, like I said at the beginning. Both friends do a lot, and seeing Striker Kai in this goalie position is so weird. But I wanted to talk about Scandals' Octavia, which I've seen him play so much throughout like this qualification process in these Chrono Boost start type games. I feel like the team gets to start so often, and having like that pocket pick has, I feel like, consistently paid off for this team. So it kind of goes to show how sometimes like practicing Octavia can pay off really well, or you just miss the core for fun.
Slightly missing the core for fun there, but still has this flow state all the way across the board. Just going to use the Sonic Boom to grab it back again. Still has it, can make it all the way up. I mean, Castellas Chrono Boost is doing some insane work right now. Striker Kai gets to help hold it down here. Scandal's almost getting just enough speed to become the goalie and the midfield at the same time, though. That's just kind of what happens when Octavia gets a little bit out of hand, and it's only the second set, and she's making such a mockery of this team right now. Another goal here from Now's Bureau, and it's going to be tough here. Rose is going to have to get this next set if they don't want to fall too far behind. If Octavia gets another good awakening, could be curtains.
Yeah, also like Atlas is about to have an insane build if he gets like a single more CDR awakening. Asher's about to have an insane build. This is a really scary game. Unless like you get like insane draft like order and luck, it's just gonna be really difficult if Rose Petals loses this set.
Oh, okay, that was kind of nice.
That was Spooked Alter playing that pretty well.
Yeah, love that. Knock against the side there, barrier beam, second hit to just get it on through there. And of course, we see the Octavia just hitting the ball 6,000 times, gets the MVP, gets anything they want, could grab aerials, could grab a spark even if they so desire. Prime time to help keep the flow state up. A lot of options here for the blue team.
Yeah, and meanwhile, like Zentaro already has a dash awakening. That's 3 awakenings in this rotation that she kind of can't really go as well as the other ones. And Asher is guaranteed a size awakening regardless, unless they double deny, which they do. But now she gets Spark, or Super Surge, or Explosive. I think Super Surge, I feel like it's a little better on Asher, especially with Adrenaline Rush. You just kind of bonk people and they go right off the screen, but Explosive's still pretty good, works on your primary, and we'll see if Spooked Alter can find some KOs. Also with prime time on Scandals, like you're never gonna see his secondary go away.
Yeah, definitely a lot of extra moves there is going to help keep that one up. Of course, we do see maybe one of the saddest Rune builds I've seen in a while, and everyone else may be kind of happy with their stuff, but Rune, you know Rune ain't too happy not seeing Timeless, not seeing Mon, not seeing even Siege Machine, something that came out relatively recently as far as Awakenings go, that really helps Rune out in some of the creation characters. But Luke gonna try to do the best they can with built different here. Size is always great, helps against Asher to win some strike wars. They do have both of their barriers down though. Luke defending for his life, going to use one of those moves there, secondary, to keep that ball out there. Doxy trying to get it to Twisty, but Scandals has a couple extra abilities to keep the ball into Spooked Alter's hands. Now the flow state comes back up, going to try to use a base drop to keep it intact. Oni's Blade going to make things a little awkward here for the blue team though, but they still have control, and Luke kind of moves out of position. Spooked Alter is just in perfect position to get it right on past, and honestly now's Bureau is looking real good.
Yeah, it's not even the creation awakenings for Rune, but it's the CDR that he really needs to just be able to use his pillars on defense and then also transition them to offense. Otherwise, like, he ends up getting caught out in these like weird secondary timings and the core just barely slips by. Like, we just saw it twice in a row now. And it's just such a hard spot to be in because they also just like Scandals has so much speed and duration on the buff that he can just run away whenever he's afraid, and then the buff will still be there as long as he like primaries from a distance. It's really like a disgusting set of rune pages, awakening pages.
Yeah, I think Scandals is kind of the breadwinner right now with that great build. Although Spooked Altar making really great use of a little bit of extra size here. Big Fish, even the explosive entrance, I'm seeing those secondaries go a little bit farther to increase the range of that Asher's presence, which is making it happen. I mean, barrier beams, all three players, the core grabs a barrier themselves, already double barriered, in position to get it right on through Luke and Doxy, and Spooked Altar actually just like, whoa, brain blast, mind-bendingly good positioning there, gets it on in, and that's going to be the first game over to Now's Bureau.
Yeah, and Now's Bureau looks so strong in that game. Like, you pretty much had the game go exactly how they wanted it to. They got every single awakening they could possibly want. The rune never got going on the side of Rose Petals. And that's kind of one of those games where, like, you go into this game thinking, okay, like, this is like a 50-50 for my team, whatever. We're better. Maybe it's like 60-40, 70-30. You have that game where you kind of get stomped. Even though, like, they got 4 goals, like, definitely, like, you could tell the last 2 sets were not going that great. So it's on Rose Petals now to kind of, like, work their way back up and keep their mental strong, especially because like this team has gone game 3 in so many games today. They've had so many reverse sweep comebacks. It's really hard when you're this late into the bracket. It's been like what, 6 hours?
Yeah, the fatigue definitely be hitting you when you're in a tournament a little bit too long, but they're still gonna have to keep it together though. They're not out of this one yet, and maybe not even out of the next one yet, as they probably gonna have to enter the next part of the tournaments though. But we're gonna see if we can get Luke on another slightly better rune build here. I mean, even like just timeless or just prime time, like perfect form, even just a little bit of perfect form to really help that rune out, just to make something happen. And I mean, think about Taiko Temple, right? Like it's so easy for Rune to just like sneak in a monumentalist or something, close the entire lane, and now everything is the worst for the enemy team. So it's like, and again, didn't even get like a siege machine to help the time on the pillar to make it so the next one will come up. Whatever. So we'll hope that we'll see a nice rune build there. But again, really great job from Now's Bureau, and it looks like they're gonna go on to the Oni Village here with Fight or Flight. And hey, there's that siege machine, but we ain't gonna see rune.
Yeah, and so this is a really interesting map. Is this like in theory is actually a map that would favor, in my opinion, Now's Burrow, the Spooked Altar known as a Rasmus player. Rose Petals ends up first picking the Rasmus away from Spooked, which makes a lot of sense because I think he can kind of take over on that pick. And they're not really worried about Scandals. As far as I know, Scandals doesn't really play Estelle. So makes sense that you're not worried about giving away like Kai Estelle, which is a really oppressive combo on Oni. And overall, like Rasmus, Estelle, Mako, really solid team that Rose Petals has managed to kind of get for themselves. And when you're against Kai, Atlas, and probably like Kazan's banned, so probably like Zentaro or something. Or Asher. Asher's also pretty good. It's a good comp, but the traditional Oni comp is what Rose Petals has, and it feels like they're at least favored to win this game. See how it ends up going. They're on a lot more standard of a comp than they were last game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Rasmus Estelle really is like the forward comp team for something like Oni Village, and pretty crazy to see them both land on the same team right now. But they were definitely a little bit more interested in getting that now out of there, or at least their team was trying to ban now, and the other team banning Kazan for sure to get the Twisty off of that one. But yeah, we're gonna see what happens here. The Asher kind of interesting. I mean, Rasmus has just got this big presence, like Asher can move a little bit, has some presence there with the path splitter, but Rasmus has a little bit extra speed, big hit, big quick hits, and the hook is like so good for this map. So we'll see if it's maybe a minor brawler diff here when it comes to Oni Village. And I mean, Fight or Flight is an explosive awakening here. We're gonna see a lot of movement, a lot of crazy dribbles, and I admit I will give it to Rose team for the comp here.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think so. The pro of Asher is that she is going to be able to score a little easier and confirm those goals a little easier. But Rasmus is able to kind of walk back more, help his team, help win midfield, and pull the enemy goalie out of the way if he in some situations. So there's definitely routes for for oh my god, Nosborough Strikers. I hate that team name. It's so hard to say, mouthful. But I'm a hater. Anyways, there's definitely like a way for that team to win, and it's through Scandals managing to win midfield, probably against Rasmus and Estelle at the same time, and just getting the core up to Asher consistently, who then pushes it in.
Yeah, I hope that we'll be able to see Striker Kai get the ball over to Asher. I could imagine a world where it's like each time that the astral projection comes out, we might be able to clear it. But I think that like with some good gameplay and some speed, maybe the speed added by Mako, you can kind of knock the ball against the expanse and still kind of keep it within your own range because it doesn't kind of blast the core on out of there. And that's his sole secondary. It's like a 22-second cooldown. So we'll see. I mean, the
Yeah,
speed that will
exactly.
that Rose has might be a little bit overwhelming for Striker Kai's Atlas.
Yeah, Rasmus with size and speed might be everything that he wants. Like we talked about Rasmus Estelle, but Rasmus Mako is just
Yeah.
as strong. Um,
Fighter
so
flight.
getting
I mean,
all three,
yikes.
yeah, and fighter flight, like getting all three, kind of insane. I'm really curious. Does Striker Kai go Siege Machine here, or does he go fighter flight? I feel like the answer is probably Siege Machine, but I could see someone like arguing themselves into fight or flight. And I'm not a goalie, so I'm not really 100% sure, but really curious what he ends up picking, especially like as a midfield main playing goalie.
Yeah, it is interesting. I think on the surface, I would say yeah, Siege Machine for sure because it's just like really great range, really good for the expanse as well, extra damage, extra knockback, which is nice. But it's like if he can really make the fight or flight work with the strike shot, I think that's kind of a he didn't take it, but I feel like that's like an unexpected extra speed that you can sneak in there when you get like a strike shot onto someone or the core and grab that. But he's going to go Siege Machine, which is completely acceptable. Everyone else in the game going fight or flight because they know the power of such an awakening, and it's going to be, again, explosive. Like I said, the goalie is probably crying to see fight or flight as the awakening. I know I would be, but already starting out with one barrier on each side here, under a little bit of pressure right now. The offensive expanse comes out, but nothing much comes of it, though. Scandals does not have secondary, though. Up to Mako here. Spooked Alter has a chance to get it in there, but Luke doing a great job of knocking that one away, and it's probably going to end up... Okay, I'm already going to eat my words. I was going to say end up like an Oni Village game where the second barrier stays up until overtime, but no way. Actually going to get it past, though. So we're going to have a minor offense here for Twisty, going to try to get it through, but no shot right now.
Yeah, and any point where Striker Kai ends up losing that single barrier is going to be really hard for Nosborough. Because as we just saw there, Twisty found that really nice goal working with all that space that they were able to get and use because Striker Kai went Siege Machine instead of Fight or Flight. I think Siege Machine, really good choice, but to make that really good, you need to be able to keep one barrier for a really long time. It's weaker when the barriers are open.
Yeah, I can totally agree with that. Fight or Flight also just a hard awakening to use as the goalie as well to like really get the value, really feel that you're getting some value out of that awakening though. I think Siege Machine is just definitely more consistent for like any basic level of gameplay to try to get some consistency out of that one though. And we could see that you mentioned earlier that Rasmus could just pull the goalie out of the way at some points, and that's definitely real. That is 100% real. The knockback even in the goalie arc is alarmingly high. So we'll see if that happens a couple more times here. Twisty does have access to such a move, though. Striker Kai, the actually offensive and defensive expanse, is going to help get that barrier, too. Doxy approaching, or not approaching, actually defensively here with that flip to try to get it past Spooked Altar, but, man, gets it on through, right through both of them. Spooked Altar has just got this, like, this scope on right now and finding these goals, striking right on past the goalie.
Yeah, and it's really difficult when the game devolves into that, like, we saw at the end there, it kind of devolved into this, like, lane where everyone on Nowsboro was in the same speed lane on Oni Village, where you have to, then, if your Rose Petals play against Atlas Strike Shot, Atlas Primary, Kai Barrage, Asher Primary, all of this stuff that works really good in a line. So what Blue Team wants to do, what Rose Petals wants to do, is make use of open space significantly better than Nowsboro can. And that's kind of like the battle that we're seeing here.
Yeah, and Spooked Altar is really getting on in there. Great time barrier beams and just center stage with that flip. It's going to go right on in there, though. We do see that the Now's Bureau of Strikers is doing quite well. Once again, 2 points right now. And, man, Striker Kai maybe making use of this Siege Machine yet. A little extra range here. Also on the strike shot definitely helps for a little bit of unexpected offensive pressure here. Really great combination once again from the forwards here. Scandals and Spooked Altar. Strike shot doesn't seem to save the barrier, though. Now Twisty and Doxy have a chance to make it happen, but spends the cooldowns, doesn't make it happen just yet. Have one last offensive push, but kind of spending cooldowns to just keep control of the core, and Atlas would love that, as he has no problem knocking those away without some cooldowns.
Yeah, and this set's really important. If Nowsboro of Strikers manages to win it, that's like another chance for Alice to get some CDR, which goes insane with Siege Machine, for Scandals or Spooked Altar to get more speed or size, which goes insane with Fight or Flight, and it's just a really big snowball potential. But Twisty hitting all of these really great angles on these barriers, I've been seeing her do it all day, really good at sniping them out.
Yeah, really great. Also, nice angle there from Luke to clear that one away there. And they do make it happen here with a combination of Whiplash and that Rose Warp. Going to be a little bit too much for Striker Kai. Doesn't seem to die, though. Look, they're standing right into goal, but not dead. Keeps that energy, though, right with the skin of their teeth. And it's going to be a 2-2 right now. Rose is not out of this one just yet. Mako opening up with that ensnare drums to try to help get those barriers there. Did you grab one? Possibly going to... Okay, nice. Actually, doesn't need to flip to get it past Spooked Altar. Going to spin that one down. Yep, absolutely. Down to Luke there. It's going to be a drum and bass. See if Doxy and Twisty can help combo get that one, but doesn't seem to work there. Up to Striker Kai. Going to grab that barrier. Nope. Okay, Luke's another strike shot. And Oni Village, right? Am I right with this?
Yeah, Oni Village, little goofy, but Twisty, Octavia shrugging, Joker moment, getting it right through Striker Kai.
Yeah, dang. Striker Kai had flip, but was just surprisingly confident on that strike there. It was just like, absolutely, yes, I win this. But all right, we're gonna move on to Rose taking that first set here. Our little Twisty, who's got the MVP, and now they get a basic. This is like kind of catastrophic if you are Now's Bureau of Strikers to see Rasmus grab Rampage on Oni Village. I mean, this is kind of game-changing. A couple of barriers, and it is kind of unstoppable, and kind of just unstoppable. You have to evade every single time in certain situations when you have to try to avoid that pendulum swing. But we'll see if they can reciprocate here, maybe with this Egoist, Striker Kai getting Missile Prop to get even more offensive pressure. Spooked Altar going to try to work on some of those sparks to make it happen, but the same team that has Rampage also has a secondary win condition, being team player. So I think that kind of the Rose Petals, as winning that set, deserves it. Got a nice, slightly better Awakening draft.
I think they got a slightly better Awakening draft for now, but in the future, Nowsboro can get some really scary Awakenings as a result. They can threaten Asher with Sparks, they can threaten Kai, if Striker Kai can get a single CDR Awakening and they're like all still in the game, he gets so scary with Missile Prop and Siege Machine. Scandals has Egoist, that's crazy, especially if you can get Catalyst. I don't know. Really insane draft. Everyone gets good Awakenings. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. But it looks like they're going to have to keep themselves in the game, though. Rose is going to try to push this advantage, although no barriers left right now. All three of them are working on the flip. They have it now. See if they can get it on through. Yeah, this is just an Oni Village classic where you get the barrier with flip, get the goal with the second flip. That'll work out. And Doxy and Twisty really getting it on in there right through Striker Kai. Now they're taking another advantage here with the first point in the second set.
Yeah, and clean goal. Luke has flipped, but on the side of Nowsbro, they almost have 3 flips, so this is kind of the point you really want to see go their way. But with the quick double barrier, it's going to be really difficult. Like I said, Fighter Flight Atlas, or Siege Machine Atlas without Fighter Flight, not going to do well in an open net. And they're kind of getting dismantled this game so far, in like the literal opposite of what happened last game.
Yeah, true. The fighter flight is really kind of going crazy. Even when you lose the strike war, but you're still kind of in the fray, this fighter flight is not going to give up. It's going to make you fast. I mean, look at Twisty flying across the board, just big enough to even win that strike war against Kai without even thinking about it. Scandals has Flip here to try to help defend, and all they're going to have to do right now is defend, as they have no barriers left here. Luke trying to even approach a little bit here. Strike shot war going to end and the success here of Rose as Docs are going to try to get that in there. They do get the flip out of Striker Kai. Okay, it's going to be Spooked Alter to try to spend their flip. The barrier beam with the help of Scandals actually going to be enough to grab the barrier. And this combination here that we're seeing on Oni Village is how you should be playing it.
Yeah, this is really good. And Spooked Alter almost with the insane ult. That was a really solid ult. And then the strike shot by Luke to save it. I feel like Luke is playing a lot more consistent than he did last game, which makes a lot of sense because it's really hard to be consistent on Rune.
Fair, yeah. I think Awakenings are more impactful on Rune than some other characters, which is such a dumb blanket statement for no reason. But either way, definitely gonna try it. Yeah, I think it's right too, but I'm trying not to be too confident about it because I play Rune. Smile. Nice primary there from Doxy. Got a piercing shot. That core right on through Striker Kai with the help of those Crystal Thorns. Not going to be able to defend that one. And it looks like Rose, with as we predicted a little bit before, with a really good comp on this stage, is going to take the second set.
Yeah, and the first set was a little close. That set felt like a huge snowball. And now Doxy able to get stacks on stacks, which with Fighter Flight is going to make her really fast. And then Rasmus getting hot shot kind of would have been willing to see that happen the other way around. Striker Kai going aerials instead of hot shot is incorrect when you already like you have so much missile range already, and hot shot is really good. That is not the play, but that's fine. Meanwhile, though, Kai on his team, Scandals, is managing to get Super Surge, which does give him a little bit of speed to contest with the stacks on stacks that Oxy has, and hopefully, like, if I am Now's Borough of Strikers, I want to win the first point before Doxy gets her stack.
Yeah, before the stacks show up, absolutely. I do kind of agree on that whole hotshot pick there. I feel like, I mean, any kind of cooldown that you can get here, and core speed as well, it's gonna be super important here. But Scandals with that really great barrage is gonna get that one in there. Spooked Alter can't make it happen with the barrier beam just yet. Twisty just super in the fray there, trying to hold the line, and they do end up holding the line. Luke doesn't die there to the breakthrough, which is really important. In the hands of Spooked Alter one more time. The strike shot almost helped it on through, and a flip is going to work, but not long enough. As Spooked Alter does get a really great strike to cover that one, and that's kind of what you just do against flip. You cover as many options as you possibly can, and it worked out for him.
Yeah, and we'll see something I wanted to point out that we're seeing every round, right? Rose Petals is swapping their kickoff, which is something people do a lot on Oni Village. They're sending Rasmus middle, sometimes it's Estelle middle, sometimes it's Brawler. It just lets your Brawler collapse on the lane that the core spawns, basically, and gives them more ability to impact the play and do more things. And I think it's a good thing that they're doing. Helps Rasmus get barrier, like Rampage stacks too.
And we can see that too. Alright, Rampage stacks is already stacking up to 2 right there. Spooked Alter once again with the barrier hit directly into the flip in front of the board. It's going to be a goal there, and now this is exactly what the Bureau of Strikers needs, is to get a couple of goals here. Maybe get Spooked Alter a spark or 2, and yeah, we saw that Aerials pick on Striker Kai, possibly deny, I mean, either going for more missile range just for the heck of it, or denying maybe Mako thinks they maybe get overwhelmed by a little bit of extra speed there, or maybe there's a jump from Estelle, but either way, tough pick there for Atlas. As they're going to be, I mean, still on the way to winning this next set, though. Spooked Alter, again, in great position there. Almost lands it immediately. Once again, knocking it on over there. The strike shot from Kai with the Omega range. Actually, every single item you see on Striker Kai increases missile range, which is like...
He would have got that without aerials, I'll say it.
I think you're right. But this is the Omega. You cannot get more missile range than this. I
This
think.
is true. Yeah, I mean, if you can, I don't want to see it. So yeah, Kai, Scandals, it's hard because his teammate is Striker Kai and he's playing Kai. But Scandals able to get Chrono Boost here, gonna let him get even faster when his secondary is up. It's gonna be really important how he uses that. But meanwhile, Mako has Spark of Speed along with another Spark, kind of starting to get faster. There, and oh, this is actually huge. Atlas gets perfect form. Let me talk about this. Probably, especially with Siege Machine, which makes your ultimate last longer, one of the best CDR awakenings you can get on Atlas in this in this situation. It's going to be really important to see when Atlas presses ult, do his teammates stand in it to give him CDR? If they do, they can win this game. If they don't, it's going to be hard.
I kind of wish I could see Atlas's cooldowns as that moment would show up. All of them would be going down right at that spot. But man, watch anytime that look at the projection just showing up right into Luke's face anytime it is sent there. And we're gonna see a nice dribble there from Spooked Alter though, but doesn't seem to maintain control. The Rose Warp getting on in there right over to Twisty. Again, loses control for just a moment there into the hands of Scandals, but Luke does a great job of defending one more time. Spooked Alter has flip, but losing a lot of health in the process there. They could consider a kill at this point, but the flip and Luke goes for a big old read on the top there, but doesn't seem to make it happen. I guess just covering top side is completely fair. Doxy on the bottom side to try to make it, cover as much options as you can. Didn't seem to work out there, though, and now it looks like the Bureau of Strikers, now's Bureau of Strikers, this is definitely a mouthful, is coming back just a little bit here.
Yeah, and this is a big momentum shift, right? The last set went 3-0, I think, too. And it's just everything's falling really quick. It's really hard when you just kind of feel like you lose control of the game to get everything back in place and start playing correctly again. For the sake of this being a really competitive game, I want to see Rose Petals able to make some good passing plays again and hold some barriers so we can see like a really hype set 5.5.
Yeah, facts. I think Luke is definitely maybe using his abilities a little bit more offensively, which is definitely warranted. You can definitely... Ooh, careful there with the Giga Blast. Okay, Twisty approaching here with a couple of stacks of Rampage. Only 2, actually, though, in this set. Could have 4, I believe, right now. But not going to make that one work. Going to slay Striker Kai, though, with the Pendulum Swing. A little bit of extra power. 1-2 punch. Actually, probably not affecting the Pendulum Swing onto Kai. Either way, gets all of that energy on out of there. Grabs a kill, extra experience, too. And, okay, now, like you said, Rose is coming back just a little bit.
Yeah, and this is huge because Doxy has stacks on stacks. Twisty has Rampage. The longer this set goes, the better it is for Rose Petals. And we'll see if they can close it because Scandals had... Oh, huge.
That's a speed lane right there. Sometimes just the ball just shows up on your doorstep a little faster than you were ready for. You're still in the shower, but you got to answer the door. Oh my god, I actually don't want to make those references. Not because of the shower thing, but it's like I feel like it's so cliche to make the references like that. Oh my god, I'm such a noob. Holy
It made me laugh. I mean, props.
Did you like that? I didn't like that.
I mean, I'm really weird. I have like the worst sense of humor ever, but I liked it. So
I feel like that was such a normal commentary thing to be like, oh yeah, whatever. Either way, we gotta talk about this game. Luke losing a barrier. That's a catastrophic situation here, but does have flip to maybe add a little bit of offensive pressure here to Twisty and Doxy as they're completely on defense though at this point. Are they going to make it out? Scandals covering the whole board here with some of that extra speed. Striker Kai and Scandals both have flips. Spooked Alter going to get their own, but Scandals looking a little bit weak. Dies, losing that flip as well. Twisty a little bit weak right now too. Spooked Alter kind of sniffs out that weakness. Doxy going to try to get it on in there with... Okay, actually ends up missing the piercing shot, but does get flip in the process. Going to spend it here, but Striker Kai, an immortal wall, is going to hold it down.
Yeah, kind of. That barrier should have gone down. I'm not gonna lie. Rose Petals could have played that better. Striker Kai did a good job with his spacing and strikes. And now they're kind of in this lull state. Everyone used all their energy, and people are just kind of hitting the core in the direction of the barrier and praying it works.
Which is fair. I mean, hey, we do have team player on the side of Rose, though. They do have a slight advantage here when it comes to overtime. So they're going to have a couple of faster hits. Their red balls to send to either of those teammates. And that's going to make things really difficult for Atlas. Just a whiplash only needed to grab that barrier. Overtime makes things so difficult. Luke sending it up there with the strike shot, but does do a great weight against that barrage for Scandals. Striker Kai gonna have a tough time blocking this one with literally no barriers left here, though. Gets the expanse up. Twisty approaching with the whiplash, and yeah, that's going to be it Rose Warp taking that next game and making it competitive like we wanted.
Yeah, and I didn't mention this, but 1-2 punch overtime against Atlas with no movement awakenings. Kind of good. Helped there at the end. And yeah, Rose Petals, they had a good comp. They pretty much it got a little scary, which I think is really valid in this high stakes game, but they pulled it back together. They played their comp correctly. And well, now we're on game 3, and I don't actually know what map this is. It looks like it's Clarion Test Chamber. Um so
Yeah.
I Clarion Test Chamber, kind of an interesting map. Atlas is a really good pick on this map. Both goalies in this lobby play Atlas. I'm really curious if they give it to Striker Kai, who, correct me if I'm wrong, but he played Atlas in game 1 also, right?
Yeah.
I've seen him on Atlas a lot today. I saw one Drakar game. Obviously, like namesake, he probably has a Kai, but I think Atlas is the pick that makes the most sense for this team. And I'm really curious. I'm assuming it's probably blue side for Nowsboro based on them not having blue side in this game. Which means they have first pick, and I'm really curious if they end up first picking Atlas if it's up. I don't know. I feel like obviously the team with Atlas didn't win this game, but it feels like, especially on a map like Clarion, where Atlas has so much power on so many different variations, I would want the Atlas.
Yeah, Atlas definitely quite good, closing a couple of those lanes there. Even with just the Astral Projection, actually holds the line in one of those lanes as well. And we can see that the Awakenings here are going to be explosive entrance and stacks on stacks. The Zentaro is picked, the Atlas is picked. And man, you'd be pretty happy to be Rose here if you're grabbing Zentaro, opening Awakening on the explosive entrance there for sure. Stacks showing up just like we saw last game, but for everyone in this situation, we're going to definitely see Atlas grabbing that stacks. Kai probably grabbing that stacks. I feel like
Yeah.
everyone might be grabbing those stacks.
I think Twisty goes explosive if I know her. She likes
Yeah,
to
yeah,
make
yeah.
explosive plays on the Zentaro, but oh, and we see Octavia again, which I did not expect to see in this game because it's not the best start for her. Um, it can work. She can definitely get some really good awakenings. How the first set goes is going to matter a lot,
Mhm.
and we'll see because like Rasmus, like blue team also has Rasmus, but like they don't have Rasmus with Mako, so he's also going to need some time to scale and like get good awakenings for him. Meanwhile, like Centauro is going to be really strong from the first set on. I To me, I slightly favor Rose Petal's comp here with the Awakening pool, but we'll see. It's a really close game, and I think blue side can definitely scale.
Yeah, I also think I will slightly give it here to Rose. I do really like the Zentaro pick. The Kai pick is such a great support, and Mako in general does a good job of helping the offense in a bunch of different ways. And it's really kind of on the Octavia here for the Bureau of Strikers to make it happen. I feel like Rasmus and Octavia, just like on paper, I guess, just looking at the team, does not feel super synergistic in a way that you would like it to be. Atlas does a solid job of supporting Octavia though, with a little bit of health and some backup there. But yeah, just as comp straight up, I'd say Rose has just a slight edge there. I like the more traditional. I just hate Octavia. Like I feel bad for
Yeah,
everyone in this game because it's like if you're winning with Octavia, then she's killing everyone. She's the best. She's the king. She's the unstoppable. And if you're losing to Octavia, you can't do anything.
yeah,
It's
it definitely
rough.
like it's one of those things where if you just like let one set get away from you, the game can get into such a bad spot, and everyone ends up going stacks. So I was wrong.
Oh my god, they did what?
Ex-
Twisty.
that means explosive entrance probably shows back up. I think it's fine to go 6 stacks. I would have been okay with explosive too though. We'll see how it ends up going. Which team can get the stacks first? I think it's easier for the red comp to stack stacks, except for like it's easier for Atlas to stack it than Mako, but everyone else kind of stacks it better on red side. And Twisty, really good goal there. Also got 50 stacks in that one round, double like the next closest. So
Yeah,
if she can
nice.
get that breakpoint earlier than everyone else, that's huge.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I've been in games before where I was the only one that didn't have stacks and always was like, man, this is unplayable. Should have taken that. Maybe
Yeah.
Twisty is just a little bit more aware of that situation. Explosive entrance definitely makes explosive plays when you have your cooldowns up, absolutely. But stacks helps you at all times as long as you don't die. And kills might show up. Oh my god, Scandals definitely had the lineup there, but ended up just moving a little bit too much to the one side. Stun! With the energy burst stun there from Twisty actually knocked Striker Kai, stunned them as well, and could not get to the core. Really great play, really great recognition there from Twisty to help get that goal on in there. And it looks like Rose is doing good. Good start here for Rose.
Yeah, and that's really huge. Like I've said, you really just want someone to get stacks first. Like, you want someone on your team to get stacks first. Centauro has it. And Octavia dies, she has no stacks. Everyone on red side about to get it. And I don't think you're really going to see blue team get many KOs unless, like, Rose Petals messes up. Meanwhile, Rose Petals can get KOs on Owlsboro Strikers. They have picks that can stack damage, and Mako, like, surprisingly does a lot of damage. And it'll be really up to, like, Striker Kai to get, like, high-value ultimates to stop that. And, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. We do see Spooked Altar taking a lot more damage here. Probably going to be the next kill target here to knock that flip right on out there. Luke, good job of defending it there. Good time strike. Looks like Twisty is trying to get Spooked Altar the heck on out of there, though. Ball in a precarious situation here with the Atlas Circle showing up, though. Down to Doxy. Twisty trying to sneak a kill onto Scandals there. See if they can make that one work. Doesn't, though, loses the barrier in the process. Now we have the secondary up here, Flow State for Octavia. Spooked Altar getting knocked around, but I'm not entirely sure what scored that.
It was the Giga.
It was the Giga? Yeah, okay. Oh,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they Giga over-focused for the kill there, pardon my pun. And as a result, they got scored on because they didn't, like, kinda didn't, like, push the Rasmus to the edge. They pushed him away from the edge in some cases, and it was just a really messy play, which is really unfortunate because that gives blue team time to stack the stacks back up again. Twisty, that's huge. Almost gets both. And, well, if they can finish this push well, especially with Atlas being so low, it's really huge for them. But now Twisty, about to die, and Doxy, meanwhile, I don't even know what happened there, but she popped off.
yeah, we're all watching. Let's see if Twisty can get those stacks, or if Rasmus can get those stacks off of Twisty to reset those ones. That would have been huge. Now that's why kills are a little bit more valuable here. And man, we see Octavia's draft show up. She is last, though. Well deserved, as she is the one being targeted for kills here. And like I said, Octavia just volatile to both sides. If you're losing with her, she's probably dying 15 times. So just getting her some of these awakenings, which they're probably going to deny. Yeah, Castelest for sure to deny Octavia, leaving her with near nothing. She's going to have to be Spark Octavia, which is easy enough to deny, a little bit awkward in general. But if she can get the Spark of Health, I forget what it's called, that'll be huge.
Yeah, so her build can scale, and then also Striker Kai with extra special if he gets perfect form. It's a lot of CDR. Unfortunately, Doxy went Chrono Boost, which made Luke go Castellas, which basically gives you nothing on Mako. I think probably if they wanted to double deny it, it would have been better the other way around. Not the end of the world, though. They're still able to do a lot. Chrono Boost Kai is pretty good. And now, about to have triple core flip on the side of Rose Petals. They're also doing a little better this set, too, in getting stacks up. And we'll see how this ends up progressing.
Yeah, I like that Luke was really attentive there onto the down clear to try to make it happen. But Kai also had a strike shot there to contest that situation too. Striker Kai making a point of not clearing through the goal as things are a little bit scary. Yet Twisty was ready for that one as well. Scandals does end up getting that one there with the base drop. Flips there, but gets stuffed by the perfect pitch from Luke, though. We're going to see if Luke can clear this one out from Spooked Altar. Sends it down, but too close to Scandals. A Soren angle might have been the ticket there.
Yeah, it was a hard clear to find. It's really unfortunate. So Scandals getting that KO on Doxy is huge. That is like the story of that point to me. It resets her stacks. It gives blue team some core control because they're in a 3v2, which lets Atlas get his stacks up. And Atlas trying to use his stacks kind of messes that up, but it is like the kind of play I want to see him doing. It is not the right timing.
I was fired.
That was fire. Spooked Altar, though, has Flip, and it's going to be pretty big how he ends up using this to get the single barrier away from Mako. Mako, another one of those characters, when there's an open net, it can be a little easier to score on her.
Yeah, true, but really great whiplash there from Spooked Altar to sink that barrier, though. Doxy helping it on through the Oni's blade, but they still haven't gotten the barrier here. Striker Kai and Scandals on defense doing a great job here. The drum and bass trying to defend this one off here. Twisty knocking it against Atlas Circle to no avail, and Spooked Altar wins a fat double strike force situation there and lands that goal in there. Now as we are Strikers bringing it on back here, though. Yeah, I mean, if they can win this set and Scandals is the first one to show up, maybe some sparks might change this game.
Yeah, and it's likely that Scandals will be because he is now the highest level on his team after being the last pick in the last set. So pretty safe to say that he probably has the most XP if they end up winning this round. And Striker Kai, meanwhile, though, getting a pretty big kill on Twisty, resets his stacks, or her stacks, and also Scandal's stacks getting reset. Hard to see what's going to happen. I really want Nosborough Strikers to score this point if they want to win the set, because if they don't score this point, Striker Kai just got so much XP from that KO that, he's at risk of starting to get more XP and messing up the draft rotation, and things can get really weird. Yeah, long rant.
It's fair. It's like this next point definitely is imperative here as the teams are just constantly getting experience here, though. We're going to have Twisty get it in there with the dashing strike, slashing strike, passive from Zentaro, either way. Loading up the flip as well for the next point, too, making things really tough here for the side of Now's Bureau, though. See if they can get a kill. Okay, that Slice and Dice could have gotten a kill on Spooked Altar, but getting out of the way nicely, though. Luke does not seem to be able to defend that barrier here. We have Octavia on the backside here to support Spooked Altar on all sides here. Yeah, this is a really great setup here for Octavia. She can just strike the Maelstrom ball in the middle there to keep resetting, but we have Twisty center stage flip loaded up, the passive too, and it's going to be a nice goal from Twisty.
And the Octavia shrug.
Oh, the Octavia shrug there too. Man, I think that they're trying to stop the Bureau of Strikers from getting any of this momentum here. They're going to grab those sparks.
Yeah, it's so big if Now's Bureau of Strikers manages to close out the set, and it's also big if Rose Petals does. Both of these teams on match point trying to book their ticket to landing. They have to win one more series after this, but this is a huge game. And Dox is about to have flip, Luke's about to have flip. Everyone in this lobby is about to have flip or has flip. And on set point, I'm really excited to see how all of these players end up using it.
Yeah, it could be a big moment here, especially on Bouncy House, though. We're going to have a flip popped there from Spooked Altar just to stay alive. The Celestial Intervention here going to, okay, double flip. Unfortunately there, the Synergy just was not making it on through. Luke defending that one, and now the opponents have flip to try to get the other barriers, too. Scandal's approaching with that base drop. Luke spending their flip to just defend that one away. Spooked Altar still a little bit weak, possibly a kill target. No energy left. Yeah, down for 13 whatever seconds here as they're going to have this power play. Luke getting into position.
all their awakenings because they have double stack awakenings.
Oh yeah, Zero, he's got the rampage as well, so it's actually going to have nothing left when they return here, and it's going to be probably Rose is quite a big advantage now.
Yeah, especially with one barrier up on the side of Rose. This is like a really scary spot to be in if you're Now's Bureau of Strikers. It's winnable, you have Octavia with stacks, but Twisty just sends it right through. Perfect primary. Rockets the core, they're up 2-0, and we'll see what happens, what shows up in this draft, because there's a lot of scary awakenings for both teams.
Yeah, you can see some of them showing up here. Fight or Flight possibly gonna have to be denied here. Big situation here for Luke to make a decision. Fight or Flight might be the end of the game if Octavia grabs it, but she does have Spark of Resilience too. It was just two really great picks because they chose that Spark of Focus. And
Octavia could have got Sagar too. You can't deny there, I feel like.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. I think this is the right pick though. You can
still
nice kill Octavia. For who?
That's like Nice Edge going to last pick. That awakening has not been nerfed since the last time it was in the game. It gives you so much power and speed, and like if Spooked Altar can use that awakening well, it could literally be like what decides the game.
True. I think it's going to be a little bit of the stage dependency, right? I think on this setup, the Nice Edge doesn't get anywhere near as much value as it does on the Atlas Circle, though, which, I mean, is about a fourth of the game. I think there's two side lane, real close to the edge setups on Clarion Corp, though, so about half the game, I think they'll have some really great value out of that one.
Yeah, and like even on Bouncy House or like on any map really, like there's gonna be times, especially when you have Rampage, since the bigger you are, the further away you can be from the edge and still get Knife's Edge value.
Hmm.
Um, it can get really weird and really scary. So really curious how that goes. If I'm Rose Petals, I want to end this set as fast as possible.
Sure, absolutely, definitely what they're thinking. Because I mean, think about Spooked Altar's build right now too. In addition to that, it just doubles scaling. It's going to be hard to stop this Rasmus once they get going. They're going to have really great help there from Luke's perfect pitch to get it on in. Really great positioning there. Going to land that one, take another point in this third set, and they're looking poised to finish this whole match off.
They are. Scandals almost has stacks on stacks, so if he can touch the core, he's basically 2 strikes away from getting it. And he'll be the first one to get it. And there's all of blue team really is like the closer team to getting their stat. So that could be a huge power swing in this round, unless red team can kind of make the round last long enough to get their stacks up or kill Octavia. It's getting a stack start on a game with an Octavia in it is so interesting because like there's so many like easy ways to follow like which team kind of has an advantage right now.
Yeah, and the Celestial Intervention helping a lot there, as Scandals doesn't have to go towards the edge to grab one of those orbs, and now they can get really on in there as they won the Maelstrom orb situation. Gets cooldown size, health, speed, and everything you could ever want. Twisty approaching fast with that drum and bass, with that flip. Doesn't seem to make it happen, though. The Giga Blast helping through, but the Oni Blade stopping it once again. Luke spends the strike shot, misses, and spends an evade, just trying to hope to God that they had flip, but yeah, didn't seem to make that one work, and now Bureau of Strikers is saying we're about to stack, we're about to scale, and it's gonna be over soon.
Yeah, and we'll see. That definitely Rose Petal still has a strong comp that can do things, but Spooked Altar has 4 Rampage stacks, is just getting bigger and bigger, has stacks on stacks, and is just like you can see how far away he is when he procs that Knife's Edge. He's like literally halfway across, like in the middle of that lane, and he has Knife's Edge proc, and he's just zooming.
Yeah, you're right. This is definitely probably the best setup here for that Knife's Edge. For Spooked Altar, who's also just about to grab a flip here. Twisty spends theirs as well to no avail, though, just getting a little bit of evade situation. Luke gonna try to push onto the top side there against Kai, but doesn't seem to work out. Everyone is on the top lane. Octavia running for the ball, Kai as well. Striker Kai getting in there too. Doxy's gonna try to help defend this one. Great strike from Luke to keep it in onto the top side. Misses the perfect pitch swing, though, and it's going to be the barrier going down. Now Scandals has it in their hand, trying to get it to Spooked Altar, who has that flip past Luke here. Super big. The pendulum swing doesn't land, and now Striker Kai has it.
Yeah, and well, the flip almost kills Scandals. If Luke can get this core out, it's a huge for Rose Petals. They're in a really good spot to score, and they do. Doxy with the perfect barrage sneaks it right in, and it's still anyone's game. Spooked Altar has core flip, but Luke and Doxy also almost have core flip, and this is Bouncy House, where anything can happen.
Yeah, the scariest setup for sure. And man, with a really good barrage, it really is going to need 5 strikes or a wall to stop it out when Doxy is lined up like that. Scandal's trying to work on this flow state here, see if they can have... I'm trying to see if Octavia can have that kind of pressure right now with the flow state. They do have a chance, though, as they are stacking it up here in the corner. But man, Doxy putting on too much pressure, so much pressure, that it's actually going to end the game here right on through Striker Kai with that flipping. It's going to be Rose Petals taking that one.
Yeah, and I mean, huge win. Twisty taking the win over her friend Striker Kai. Doxy, one of the founders of Animal Style, taking the win over one of like the most known members of Animal Style, Scandals. A lot of lore in that matchup. And I mean, Luke just kind of consistently performing, doing what his team needed him all day today. And now they're 1 series away from making it to landing. And I'm sure that's going to be the series we're watching next, right? The other one's not ready yet. Or, oh, it is ready. My fault. Return to form took it over Ball and Ballers pretty quick. But, yeah. Rose Petals, really good drafts, I think, in Game 2 and Game 3. I was really happy with, like, their comp, what they wanted to do, how they executed it a lot of the time. Kind of lost their minds a few times for KOs when they didn't need to, but it was well done. And now's Rose of Strikers. I'm really excited to see how they do in NASA because they look really strong overall.
Yeah, for sure. They definitely ended up bringing that one back with some great awakening drafts there and some good synergy too. They kind of they kind of won that third game kind of pretty handily, I would say. Didn't end up losing a set too, and yeah, really great job there. Great win, and it looks like we're gonna go on just a little bit of a break here as we load up the next set of players here, and it's gonna be huge. Do not go away. We'll be back in just a little bit.